Rather wonderful about that customer is their sense of optimism. We look at our customers the standard ways. We'll look at them demographically, we'll look at them behaviorally, we'll look at them attitudinally. What we started to do is look at them psychographically. These people are life's natural optimists. And if our communication isn't reflecting that, we are missing a point. So where had we begun to go wrong? And I would point back to what Terry said earlier this morning. Macy's was a company that was putting on about $1 billion a year. And one of the hardest things I think to do is to change a winning model before it stops winning. And so when I came in talking a lot with Terry and talking a lot with Jeff, what we came to was this belief that somehow we'd got drawn into a hyper-promotional trap. And what we'd essentially done is given our customers insulin resistance. We'd actually put ourselves in the worst of three worlds. So if you imagine this, if you're a customer, what we were doing to you is, we're on sale. Now we're on sale. Yep, we're on sale again. Oh, now we're really on sale, and now we're on sale again. What the customer was just hearing was this white noise, we're on sale all the time. Underneath that, we were trying to say we're fashion, and I would argue being on sale all the time is kryptonite to fashion, because it's really difficult pretending we've got the greatest clothes if they're always 30%, 20% off, and here's a coupon on top of it. The other issue is what it was doing was creating the world's a very expensive marketing model to do, because what I was doing is driving up the reach and frequency curve on a weekly basis to say we're on sale. Now, if you want to see what happens to marketing efficiency when you do that, get in your car, drive down the motorway, put your foot on the accelerator, take your foot off the accelerator, put your foot on the accelerator, and take it off. You'll get seasick, and your gas efficiency goes to hell. So what we had to do is begin to rebalance this model. So think of it like a seesaw. Now, the first thing is Macy's is not going to stop running promotions. We are a promotional discounting retail store, department store, and that's a very important component of what we do. What we've got to do is we've got to counterbalance that. So we've been talking about it internally. It's a pivot. On one side, you have the high-frequency promotions, and at the moment, we're overloaded to that. In order to come off the high-frequency promotions, you have to build the counterbalance. And the counterbalances we are building are big ideas, product authority, personalization, and loyalty. And what that allows us to do is start to look at our customer based on lifetime value. Because as retailers, we were really, really good at saying who bought what was bought when. This bottle of water was bought on Friday, we put it on discount, and we sold 400,000 units. We did that really, really well. What we weren't looking at as well was what is the health of our customer franchise? Is our customer inherently getting more loyal, or are they getting more transactional? Because as a marketer, I can drive to the top line. But if I'm having to do it by making my customer more transactional, winning them one purchase at a time, then what I'm building is a highly inefficient marketing model. If I'm making my customer more inherently loyal, then what I'm building is a highly efficient marketing model, because I don't need to spend as much money to activate them. So basically what we're trying to do is build the counterbalances, which in turn will make the promotional engine more efficient, so you get a virtuous circle building up. So this is one of the things I was taught when I first started in marketing. The heart of product authority is building added value into a brand. So on the left, what we have is a tomato. On the right, what we have is a sun-brightened, organically grown Mediterranean, Mediterranean tomato, hand-selected to be part of the Macy's edit. The point is simple. This is about added value. It's about romancing the product. As Macy's, we had got trapped in selling tomatoes, and what I want to sell is the Mediterranean tomato. I want to sell stuff that has been hand-selected. If you think about it, how else would you select a tomato? I want to sell stuff that is sun-ripened, because there's no other way of doing it. But it's about romancing the product. It was as simple as that. So that inherent truth was pushed in front of the organization. The other inherent truth was the most important thing we can do is grow customer loyalty. We need to stop trying to recruit customers that are highly transactional and hug our best customers. And that wasn't a marketing exercise. That was an entirely enterprise-wide exercise. Essentially, Macy's is trying to create an environment where we are not just a company with a loyalty program, we are inherently a loyal company. And that will play across every single touch point we have. And I could spend a lot of time talking to you about the value of customer retention in upper segment tiers, the value of migration into those tiers. I'm not going to bore you with the maths, but it is intoxicating when you see the leverage of doing that. This is probably the most dull slide I will present today, but it's absolutely the most important. It is absolutely the pivot of the transition that we are making in the marketing model. We are moving from a model that is predicated on buying the customer one transaction at a time, one item at a time, to a model that is based on building relationships one customer at a time. That is a profoundly different marketing model. It is one that basically allows us to stop talking to everyone and talking to everyone as individuals. And that is what we are trying to do. In order to do that, we have to go back to a marketing model that is predicated on big ideas with real gravitational pull. Ideas that are so big that they draw the customer towards us, and the customer is happy to engage with those ideas. Now, one of the things that, I think marketing is in real danger of is we've all fallen so in love with what marketing tech can deliver that we're beginning to forget the art of marketing. You can take all the marketing tech in the world, but if you don't have a big campaign idea, what you've got is a really expensive set of plumbing with cold water, and that leads to a cold shower. So as marketers, what I'm looking for is building into teams a couple of things. Having generalists that have a really good balance of left and right brain, and then having deep specialists who operate in those channels and can maximize the efficiency of those channels. And then having a group of individuals that really, all they're focusing on is what are the big strategic narratives and the big ideas that Macy's has to build in customers' minds and own and maintain and grow and nurture. So, meet Ricky. Ricky is the raccoon, okay? And this is really what marketing is like. Marketing, we have to accept, and I know this is an outrageous statement, and if any of you quote me on it, I will get thrown out of the marketing guild, so I will deny it. But no one is waiting for our marketing to interrupt what they are actually watching at the moment. It's a sad truth that today, with audience fragmentation, the ability of DVRing, ad blockers, channel subscription, cord cutting, we live in a world where consumers can avoid our advertising if they want to. So the old models of being able to book a whole load of media and then just push it in front of the customer, as pioneered by P&G in the late 70s and 80s, those days are over. We have to move to a model where the customer is prepared to engage with our marketing messages. So we have to absolutely accept that marketing is the uninvited guest. And if we are going to interrupt what you are actually enjoying watching, we better make sure that we are interesting. So what we're doing is we're shifting our model from one predicated on getting attention. What are the messages that we want to push at you and scream really, really loudly, to one that is predicated on earning engagement, getting attention to earning engagement. And what that means is we're beginning to evolve our media mix, and I'll explain this in a little bit more, from broadcast into narrowcast. And what I mean by that is the broadcast layer is when we are going out at high reach and frequency in television and in radio to get people to understand those core messages. And I'm looking to find a target audience highly effectively. So imagine this entire room is my target audience. What I'm trying to do is hit every single one in this room. But the vast majority of people who are in this room, whilst they might be in the right demographic target, are not actively searching for a product. So what we're now doing is layering down into the narrowcast layer, which is when we're using digital retargeting behavioral retargeting, CRM targeting, to basically go, okay, we can see that of the entire room, this section are actively engaged in purchase at the moment. Therefore, we bring more communication pressure against them. And then finally, pull, which is when we're seeing that they're actively engaged in the purchase cycle, that they are sending us signals that they are really, really interested in buying. That's when we start really retargeting and doing a lot of the digital retargeting work that allows us to convert interest into activation. It's a really different way of looking at our media mix. So taking out, the old models and basically saying we're operating across 3 layers: broadcast, narrowcast, and pull. A layer that is designed to interrupt and layers that are designed to intercept.